economy on their side. And you are doing it at a time when there clearly is a change in the world order, where I believe personally that the nexus of power is... and now I think all of us pretty much have a choice. And the choice is about cooperation, it's about rules, it's about norms, and it's about institutions. I like these rules because they are the ones that bring exactly the thing that you have up there on the board: solidarity, equality, and sustainability. My big worry right now is that the world is moving more. It gives power to nation states as such is problematic because it's more transactional. It's more about deals, and therefore it's more prone to conflict.
Yes, that is the news that was coming out from Haiti, Finland, to the surprise of Alexander Stubb, when he got a call, or they were reportedly told him that the UN Human Rights Committee on Arbitrary Human Rights, you understand, will be interested to visit Simon Ekpa, and to get his highlights and ask him some questions concerning what is actually playing out in Finland. But surprisingly, because of the direction of the US government, where recently over the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu, a lot of people are speculating it was actually coming from that angle too, that the United Nations actually take up that matter, if a resolution can be reached and a motion moved in the Congress to free Nnamdi Kanu, then how come that the Finnish government was able to carry out such illegality? So that issue has triggered fear, tension on the side of Bianca and Finnish ambassador to Nigeria, Sina Sama, jittery, because it was what Bianca actually did not see coming. Biafra seriously in panic and in tears in that regard, because the consequences of it is going to be very disastrous, considering the legacy of his husband, Ojukwu. So Bianca was actually fingered in the process of trying to sell his own brother for the Fulani government. Now, the truth, no matter how old it is, one day the truth must actually come out. It is becoming very clear that Simon Ekpa acted in defense of his own people. It became very clear that what Simon Ekpa was doing as at that time, it was advocacy enshrined in the United Nations Charter of Self-Defense and Self-Determination, which was also part of the resolution of the US Congress. So what the United Nations did immediately was to now send delegates to Simon Ekpa, and a lot of things we have been discussed that about what they are going to do in Finland, because the issue in Nigeria has taken a very damageable global perspective, that all over the world people are celebrating Biafra, people are talking about Biafra, people are talking about Simon Ekpa's freedom. They never used gun, they were not threat to anybody, they were just speaking up against injustice that is taking place against their own people. They were calling for defense, they were calling for resilience against the Fulani agenda, the jihadist agenda in Nigeria. Then how come that, so it has been traced that a lot of things actually exchange hands between the Nigerian government and the Finnish government, that which in between was Bianca Ojukwu.
That was why Tinubu-led government finally, took her to be the Minister of Foreign Affairs there. You know, that was that why Tinubu, appointed her to be the Minister of Foreign Affairs, because of a plan to stop Simon Ekpa 2024 November 29th Biafra Recognition Day.
Yes, I will say that it was very strategic. Don't forget that a few days ago was May 30th, the Biafra day, or where Biafrans remembered all those Akachara read to defend the Biafran land as at that time. Both little children. If you watch that documentary, you will see where the young, less than 11 years old boy was telling the whole world that they are fighting for survival. Not conquest. They are not fighting to conquer anybody. And that is the position of Simon Ekpa. We are not saying this and that because we want to invade anybody, which is not in the DNA of Biafrans. What we want is freedom and safety for our own people. As simple as that. The right to exist, So just like the way Israel is going about defending themselves against terrorism. Anybody that does not see it from that perspective, does not understand what it means to be part of grace of civilization. But that notwithstanding, so at that point now, a lot of things are beginning to build around the Biafra struggle. There's so much attention now around the Biafra struggle, and these are the people who alerted the world on time of what was actually going on. So the UN was actually surprised at these revelations, that to an extent, because of the damage the Nigerian government has done to themselves, both within and outside, now felt that the only international problem, fight, challenges they are facing is that they have IPOB anywhere in the world to contend with. So they quickly prepared, activated Bianca Ojukwu's position to the substantial prime minister. But everything became worse because the door has been locked against Nigeria. If you don't know, at the international scene, within the international community, before any door will be opened for Nigeria, they have to go through a certain process, and it is rigorous because Nigeria has done a lot of criminality in terms of leadership, in terms of government, in terms of abuse, in terms of human rights, in terms of protection, just everything about Nigeria, the worst, most corrupt nation in the world. So that was that regard. But Bianca has been exposed, and the reason for that appointment has also been exposed. It's not quite too long they handed over Prime Minister office, Foreign Minister office to Bianca, and he was not able to penetrate the Congress. He was not able to penetrate the Israeli parliament.
But
he was not able to penetrate.
She has just recently been promoted. She has been promoted not too long ago.
He has been a state minister, a junior minister under the same ministry for a very long time. So it's not a new thing for her. I have been moving. You can see at every point in time, he's following Bola Ahmed Tinubu anywhere Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going. So it's not a new thing, but we expected her to hit the ground running. Well, I'm telling you, the international door has been locked against Nigeria, and there's nothing Bianca is going there to do that the IPOB does not know, and they are not aware of. And there's no office he will knock at that IPOB members cannot knock at. That is it.
But from what we know, we saw ISIS attack Imo the other day. We saw what's happening, and the Biafra territory. What do you think if Samuel Ekpa were to be around? Do you think there will be this Fulani jihadists attacking farmers? You think by now everything should have subsided as regards the Fulani terrorists attacking the Biafran territory?
The only thing that will take them out is the recognition of Biafra as a sovereign nation. Biafra as a sovereign nation, that's the only thing that will take them out. Here I say it's very clear. They are just everywhere. You saw what happened like you reported. Gumi was trying to see whether he's going to link the Imo State attack, ISIS attack, to the IPOB, but it didn't work. So those old narratives they were painting in the past can no longer work now. And they were trying to say that what is happening in Southwest is being masterminded by the Igbo people, but the evidence around showed that is not true. So that propaganda they have been using before now, has already been dented with the reality on ground and with the feasibility and the resilient spirit of Nnamdi Kanu. Imagine a situation Nnamdi Kanu would have compromised. Imagine the situation where Simon Ekpa would have compromised. Who among them in Nigeria that is loyal to, that enjoys or weaponize ethnic loyalty that can do or stood out to question the rationale of this unity? Why Nigerian government is silent? Why Christians are being killed in Nigeria? Nobody, no tribe, no religion have the guts to do it. It was Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa that actually took this issue, beyond the borders of Nigeria and alerted the international community on time. But unfortunately, Nigerians, as usual, because they are not what they claim they are, manipulated the process, paid billions of dollars, and you can imagine Nigeria spending close to 3 trillion, for ransom of kidnapped citizens. That is unfortunate, And when you tell them that Nigeria has actually lost sovereignty, they say this and that. What is happening there and now? So, and that's what Alexander Stubb, and of course, is going to definitely face from the UN, and the matter will be revisited. Don't be surprised that most of these people you are seeing today that did a lot of manipulation. Thank God for somebody, like Dr. Masanga at the Pan-African Forum, who are taking up those challenges to battle legally, through the court, the World Court, the ICC, the International Court, judges, organizations of human rights organizations, to question how they were able to arrive on the judgment against Simon Ekpa, who people did not see with firearms, who people see as somebody who we are just advocating for, defense and self-determination. What was wrong with that UN charter? So that's the question. So you can see that there was no violation of human rights or by any means by the likes of Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu. And that is why you are seeing that the world has started to listen and open the books against Nigeria.
But a lot of people want to know, they said when Bianca took over a job, appointment as the foreign affairs minister, she said one of our major aim is to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu, leaves the Kuje, facility. But up until this moment, Nnamdi Kanu is languishing in Sokoto prison. Do you think that she has abandoned the cause for Nnamdi Kanu's freedom?
Who has abandoned the cause?
Bianca. Because she said, I will make sure Tinubu release.
Or is he the only one that have been saying it? You know how many Igbo leaders have come out to say it? The most painful one was the late Mbazulike, who pleaded to Buhari to give him as a parting gift before he died. But unfortunately, the caliphate, the Nigerian terrorist government, refused to do otherwise. And down there to the likes of Benjamin Kanu and all of them, they were just making that kind of statement just to appeal to the subconsciousness of the Igbo people. And I think it has gotten to that level that I keep on saying it, those appointments we are seeing that we are being given to these people, we are tailored by the caliphate, by the Sokoto caliphate. So what we need on this issue that has become, that has gone beyond control, is a superior force. And that is what is happening now. So there was no time. Yes, we can only give that level of respect because of the warlord, the late warlord Odumegwu Ojukwu, who fought and defended the identity of the Jewish black nation in Africa. But apart of that, I don't think for now that Bianca command any form of respect on Igbo land currently now, because he never responded to all the lies of General Gowon on the unfortunate book he wrote against himself and the Fulani and the British government. That book is for the only people that will read that book are the British government and the Fulani agenda. And of course, the Southern of Sokoto and Gowon generation are the only one that will read that book. So, and for the fact he said that while Bianca was still alive, he has no audacity. He was not able to gather himself and respond and tell Gowon that what you are saying is a complete lies. But of course, we'll take that for another day. But that is what it means. So I would not much regard on issue that has not been involved. Nnamdi Kanu caught the vision and is running it, perfectly. Without Nnamdi Kanu, assuming Nnamdi Kanu has compromised, we don't have been seeing this kind of global intervention on his behalf over the Biafran struggle. We wouldn't have been seeing the United Nations trying to send delegates to Finland over Nnamdi Kanu, then over Simon Ekpa. Then the question is that why are these international agencies suddenly waking up? It tells you there's a lot that is happening, and don't be surprised that for so reason and this reason and other reasons, the US government will not have any option than to break up Nigeria.
Glory be to God Almighty for everything that is happening around the Biafran matters, because it has now started mattering not just only to the Biafrans, it's mattering to Nigeria, and it matters to the people of the world. Because the UN that you are talking about, that the delegates that are coming today, is not as a result of only for Nigeria or for Biafra, but they are coming because there is a peace that need to reign. There is something that need to take place in Nigeria that is not happening. See, my beloved brother, I must be honest to us all. The situation in Nigeria is not giving peace to every citizen of this country. And moreover, the Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not even paying attention to it. He's so much concerned about 2027, why people are dying. It doesn't concern him. Are you hearing me? It doesn't concern him. And whenever I watched Mr. President the other day, when he was, one of the interview, he was saying that we still remain one. Do you understand? Then and I'm asking myself, you are saying we are one, and some set of people are being killed, and nothing has happened to the people that are killing them, and nothing happened to the families that these people that have lost their loved ones, and you are not even doing anything to safeguard the ones that you see alive so that they will not be killed again. You understand? So the UN we are talking about here is making sense. Remember the case of Nnamdi Kanu. The UN have issued one in several occasions to Nigerian government that they should release Nnamdi Kanu over the issue of the false allegation, and at the same time, the rate at which, or the condition at which they brought Nnamdi Kanu into Nigeria, that it was illegal, which you and I know. There was no constitutional backup on that. Not to talk more of the sentence that they gave to him, because that one too does not have any written constitutional backup up as well. Do you understand? So all these things is plain. That is why I'm not surprised seeing them, because they themselves have to react. Because Nigeria is under United Nations, and there are rules and regulations, that guide every nation under the UN, which every country, including America, must not violate. I don't know whether you get the point. And Nigeria has violated it, because, come to think of it, self-determination is never a crime in anywhere in the world. And not even under the UN platform will you say that as a crime. So, what the judgment that Nigerian government has given to Nnamdi Kanu is illegal. And the UN doesn't want Nigeria to fall into a deep trap of them, or a situation whereby things will start to happen now that them that are UN will not be able to speak. They will become handicapped. And that is the situation Nigeria is pushing themselves into under the watch of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In the case of Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB and Biafra issue. You get it? So the UN that are coming now, I believe that they are coming for a reason and for a purpose. And let me tell you, Biafran case is no longer negotiable. Togetherness of Nigeria and the Igbos is no longer negotiable. And there is nothing Nigerian government can do now to convince any average Igbo person now for us to remain together. Not to talk more of convincing Nnamdi Kanu, which most of them that have visited him always come back and give a report that he always give them only 2-letter words. That 2-letter word is Biafra or nothing. And they have tried to bribe him They have tried to give him promises. They have tried to give him offer, all kind of offer for him to do what? To drop, to give up. And which he refused up to this very date. Although they have been doing that before this very moment. But because of his adamantism to what is into, that landed him, out of anger and frustration of Kanu frustrating Nigeria and the angry mood he placed in Nigeria that made them to, a kind of to sentence him to life imprisonment, not just life imprisonment, and, push him down to Sokoto instead of the west or eastern part or the middle belt. They say they sentence him to Sokoto in order to frustrate him too. But quite unfortunate for Nigeria that as they try to frustrate him, is the more they give him strength to stand and to work stronger on what he is agitating for. You understand? So they want intent to break him. But instead of breaking him, he gathered more morale, more strength, more courage to stand on his ground.
But Tinubu saying Nigeria is one, and Nnamdi Kanu is saying no, we are not one because of the marginalization that Igbos are facing since the civil war. But do you agree with Tinubu? A lot of people are saying the Northerners, the Fulanis, from the way they behave, from the way they buy people, from the way they are the one reaping the natural resources of Nigeria. Do you think the oil the other day we saw a viral video of when go on was saying back then that because of the oil in Igbo land, that's why they refuse, that's why they refuse to accept the Abreu Accord agreement.
Yes, go on, I've said it, or I will say it. If you are following me, you will know that I pointed out all these things. One Nigeria is because of the resources in Igbo land, in eastern region, in Biafra land. That is what makes Nigeria one. Without those resources, there would be nothing like one Nigeria. And there is something I would like people to understand. Marriage is not by force. And before you go into marriage and have a formidable marriage, though you definitely have issues, there is no marriage that is perfect. You will always have issues, but you have amicable settlement in every issue that comes up. So in the case of Nigeria, there was no agreement, there was no mutual understanding of one another concerning their own marriage. It was a marriage, permit me to use this word, it's a marriage of by force, like that of the old, where a father will stand up and pick a lady and force the lady on a man, or force a man on a particular lady as a result of the relationship which they have with their father or the society that they belong. They want to maintain the secrecy. You understand? So that is the marriage of Nigeria, which has never been from the concept of the Biafrans or anyone in Nigeria. It is been the concept of the, the documented slavery of the British with their selfish mindset, as seeing Nigeria as their fame. So, my beloved brother, what you are saying, one Nigeria, go on, I've said it all, including Bola Ahmed Tinubu, telling you one Nigeria. But the same Bola Ahmed Tinubu has forgotten so quickly and so soon. He's saying one Nigeria today because he's not the president. I want to put it to you, had it been that they denied Bola Ahmed Tinubu presidency, him not becoming president in 2023, will you tell me that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will still be talking one Nigeria? He will be, pushing out all those outboros to be causing kind of a crisis in order to divide Nigeria. And yes, you can see what happened in 2023 regarding to election, and see the threatening that they are giving to every, non-indigenous of Lagos today. They are inserting it that if you are non-indigenous of Lagos, do not cast your vote in 2027. They have started the campaign. Because they knew that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu, even in his own very polling unit, that he lost to Obi. So they now believe that Igbo's population in Lagos are much than the Lagosian or the Yorubas in Lagos. So they are scared. And now the same Obi is coming out again under a solid foundation party called ADC. You understand me? So, and I will not forget, like I was saying, 1997, April 13, the same Bola Ahmed Tinubu said he did not believe in one Nigeria. I gave you date. I quote the date.
So it's in your head.
You understand? Him, the same Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I quote and I quote, the same Bola Ahmed Tinubu, April 13, 1997, said he, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, did not believe in one Nigeria. But today, he's mentioning one Nigeria because he's now in position sucking Nigerian money, sucking Biafran resources. That's why he's telling you that you should give him more 4 years to suck more. And I want to use this opportunity, this platform, I put it to everybody. Let them show me where is being approved from National Assembly, the budget of Nigeria 2023. Where they implement it, Nigerian budget 2023, 2024 and 2025. And what happened to those money? Who squandered that money? Who siphoned that money? No other person than Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his crew. So these are the reasons why he's telling you one Nigeria, one Nigeria. And then let me tell you again, do you know why he's still talking about one Nigeria? Tinubu is an Islamic man and is part of the people who have the agenda of Islamic Nigeria. Are you getting it? As he earlier said under his campaign forum, I want to continue from where Muhammadu Buhari stopped. So he want to continue by buying. That's why he's telling you Igbo youth should come so that they will buy and reduce Igbos, the youth, so that if any eventuality that Biafra comes, they will not be able.
Do you not think he's looking at it at the point of, okay, since we are one, let the Igbos to join so that they'll be included in the unity as well as in Nigeria?
The ones that are joy, what happened to them? Where are they today? Are they still in the land of the living? They will set them up to reduce them in number so that the time will come when they will rise and there will be no Igbo youth to defend their land. So, and I'm using this platform again. Please, you that is watching or you that is going to watch, tell your family youth, so far you are a Biafra man, do not join Nigerian military. If you do, you will be an scapegoat. They will use you to wage their self. They will use you to sacrifice to Fulanis. Go and check the military, all the armies that the Fulanis has been killing. They are all Biafran soldiers. I could remember last year from Isiago, from Ezulo, that is from Ebonyi State. A man called Tochukwu Daraba. This young man was killed. He's a soldier. Killed and buried in a shallow grave in Borno State. How do we discover this? Because, you know, if you did not dig it deep, the body decay, it will smell. So, as rain and everything now, so the shallowness now showed this. What is this? Is this not Nigerian uniform military person? They now approach the body and discover that this person, the tracy, is an Igbo man, Igbo boy from Ebonyi State. So, Igbo you to avoid Nigerian military, or else you become an animal for sacrifice.
But the Turkish government and the Nigerian government have agreed. They said it's our time they set up a base here in Nigeria. A lot of people are saying, why Turkey that supplies Boko Haram arms are the one wanting to set up a base here in Nigeria. And this Shogumi was the one saying the US cannot set up a base here in Nigeria when he said Donald Trump cannot help Nigeria and Israel. But now he's saying the Turkey don't have blood of innocent Nigeria on their hand, that they are good and they are free to come to Nigeria. Do you agree with that statement?
Yes. He just make the word easy and simple to every common man on the street, whether learned or not learned. It tells you and I that Turkey being an Islamic nation, so let them come and have their base and give them the secret at which they use to conquer the Christian people in the Turkey. Because Turkey before was a Christian nation. So, and they were conquered. Today they have become an Islamic nation. So they need to have base here so that they will help them to conquer the Biafrans, most especially those Christian ones that come in the axis of the Igbos that are, you know, resisting the Islamic ambition and vision in Nigeria, so that it will be easy for them, you know, to achieve that goal by Fulanizing Nigeria. It's a common idea. So Turkey, you people have done it before, and it was successful. Then come and have your base and bring the idea. Support us so that we can achieve this dream so easily and perfect. So I'm not surprised. It's a clear message, and that is my take on that.
So do you not think that the Nigerian government or the Nigeria as a nation is turning to an Islamist nation?
Yeah. With the ideology of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ideology of Usman Danfodio, ideology of late Muhammadu Buhari, and ideology of the Fulani Caliphate. So Nigeria becoming an Islamic nation. Tinubu, some people will say it's a West. Yes, Tinubu's wife is a Muslim.
Christian.
Point of correction, is a Muslim.
Remi
Tinubu is a Muslim. Go and check her background. He's a Muslim. Forget that thing that you... Forget that thing, other one now title. Then if he's a pastor, what has she done to stop the insecurity in Nigeria?
It's not a duty to stop.
It is her duty. Point of correction.
We have security experts.
Point of correction is her duty as a mother of a nation. If your husband, take a look at Jonathan time. When Jonathan was, slacking, his wife rather, wake him up. As a mother, if truly you see yourself as the first lady of the nation, as a Christian, not just a Christian, a pastor, and I wonder the kind of pastoral wealth you will be giving to people. Whereby you have your husband with a wicked heart like this, and you could not be able to caution him. And you did not come out to, at least as a woman, there are some steps you will take. People in Nigeria and the world will be like, wow. Then at the same time, it will make your husband to be restricted to some certain actions that he is ignoring. So forget that. Don't tell me he's a Muslim. Tell me, is there anything that Muslim people are doing that you will not see Remi Tinubu? Or you will not see Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Or you will not see Yorubas parading there? The same pastor. Tell me, is there anything the Muslim are doing? You will see them in a Muslim, you will see them in a Christian, you will see them in a Juju. Tell me the difference. They are all everywhere. See, my brother, don't just deceive yourself. I'm telling you, go and do your findings. I'm telling you pure nature of a Yoruba man. So they are all Muslim, including Remi Tinubu. She's a Muslim.
Okay, but a lot of...
So they are all including their pastors. All this one you see, they are all Muslim. That's why you see them having all one ideology. Now take a look. Is he not a redeemed pastor, general overseer, that started advising Bola Ahmed Tinubu to meet Donald Trump, to plead with Donald Trump to give him 100 days, to stop insecurity? Then he should use that 100 days to change all the service chief. And that was what led Bola Ahmed Tinubu to organize both the IG and every other service chief into a meeting. Didn't you hear that? Yes, it was his contribution. But during Jonathan time, what did he do? The same man came outside and was jumping up and down in the name of protest. But now, how much is the price of fuel that he could not come out and protest? Now he's dishing out advice, and he cannot do it during job. Then is it the country where a pastor, a general overseer, a well-known pastor like this is doing like this? Is it a country that you and I will say we are together? Then what makes us one? If you can stand against one, and what that one did was not even to compare to your own brother, because he see Tinubu as his own brother, then you cannot speak against what your brother is doing or to protest against it. You encourage it. Now, what are you saying? So my beloved brother, Nigeria is not one and there can never be one. The marriage need to separate so that there will be life. And now I use this opportunity because as Turkey is coming to have their base, Israel is coming to have their own base too in the southeast.